biggest hack in the world. A lot of people are saying this is the biggest crypto hack in the world, which is absolutely true, or in the history of crypto, but this is actually the biggest hack in any industry, with about 1.4 to 1.5 billion dollars that was hacked from the second largest crypto exchange globally, Bybit. And the amount that they hacked was approximately 400,000 Ethereum. And I believe it's about 0.42% of the entire Ethereum supply. And in addition to that, it's pretty bad. But let's go ahead and talk about it. Let's talk about let's go through a timeline of everything that happened, and then let's also talk about what we should consider doing as far as our trading and investing journals go. And again, welcome back to the O Show, everything crypto every day. I'm WendyO. Make sure you guys subscribe with all alerts set and smash a like, drop me a comment. Okay, so let's get into it. So Bybit had the largest hack in history, with about 1.4 to 1.5 billion dollars of Ethereum taken. This is approximately 400,000 Ethereum, okay? And this was about 8 to 9% of Bybit's total assets, which was of 16 to 20 billion dollars. And about 70% of their Ethereum was taken, stolen. However, Bybit was able to process many withdrawals without any issues. So let's go ahead and talk about that part first. So I remember in the morning, because I have funds on Bybit. And again, I've had funds on like every single crypto exchange that's been hacked. And as always, you guys, not your keys, not your coins. If you don't know how to, if you don't know about cold storage, you need to start learning now, because it's going to be immensely important to properly custody your own funds. That's why anytime we talk about an exchange, which I say read the terms of service, not your keys, not your coins. And that means when you're using a centralized entity, which is a lot easier to use than a decentralized entity, there's a lot more, there could be risk, because if the exchange gets hacked, or if it files for bankruptcy, or there's some sort of issue or error there, your funds may be lost forever. But that's also can be said the same for a a decentralized exchange, because you're holding your own keys, you're in control. But at the same time, if you make human error, you send crypto to the wrong address, there's no way to get it back. At least with a centralized exchange, there could be a possibility for that. But at the same time, we saw with the crypto contagion last cycle with FTX, etc., people lost a lot of their money. And this attack here was actually worse than the FTX and the crypto contagion, because of the amount of, as far as dollar wise goes. And it just kind of sucks, is because like we can't catch a break. Like literally last weekend we had the Libra rug pull that happened by Chrysler Ventures, and people are saying that Solana's dead, and saying terrible things about Solana, which we're going to get into the cultist mindset that we're seeing happen. And again, with the whole Libra thing and all the meme coins and 40% of Solana's network, or activity going down, because a lot less people are participating in meme coins. It's not a Solana problem. It is a bad actor problem. Again, just because unless, like I said, unless the founders created this chain to do bad things on, which I don't think that was the case at all. Just like Ross, did he create Silk Road to do bad things on? Just because somebody uses something you built to do something, doesn't do something bad, the blame should not fall on you. So let's go ahead and get that out first. But this is a pretty bad hack. And the way it was done was that, and again, it came out that it was Lazarus, according to multiple sources of North Korea. And the way that it was done is they essentially masked one of the addresses that all the signers had to set, that it signed it. So basically that means is that they use a really fancy like spoofing tool, I guess we can say. I don't want to talk about it too much because I'm not super tech savvy. But basically the address that they were sending the $1.4 billion to of Ethereum, 70% of Bybit supply, it said the proper address, and there was some issue, some sort of spoofing or something done to that by North Korea, and they actually changed it to where they masked it, so it was sent elsewhere. So now with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the details. So the crazy thing about it is we finally got some news from the SEC regarding crypto. Basically, the SEC has been able to talk with Coinbase, and they're going to dismiss the lawsuit. And that lawsuit was incredibly important because in that lawsuit, the SEC named 12 random crypto assets, and they wanted to call them crypto securities, which again, they were just kind of throwing darts. And it's just kind of crazy when we're talking about the Coinbase situation, because Coinbase was approved to go public before the lawsuit, and then the SEC went and sued them, which makes no sense at all. Also, you guys make sure to smash a like so we get this pushed out to more and more people. So that news came out super early in the morning, and I remember reading it. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. It's great for crypto. Literally like an hour or two after that news came out, we saw Ben from Bybit, which is the CEO founder, says, hey, this is what's happening. So Ben came out and they talked about it. The team worked around the clock about 12 hours straight to get everybody's withdrawals processed, to do all the things that they needed to do internally and externally to figure out what was going on. In addition to that, the team went on and they live streamed. They were really, really, really transparent about it, which I appreciate, because in the past, like, we have seen founders that were transparent, like Mashinsky and SBF, saying everything's fine, but it really wasn't. But the good thing is that I guess it's a positive that because of the crypto contagion, this forced a lot of centralized crypto exchanges to provide proof of reserves and to be audited by a third party. So Hacken is actually Bybit's proof of reserve. They're the company they use for proof of reserves and auditing, etc. So Hacken came out a couple hours later and said, don't worry, Bybit is solvent and they do have enough reserves. So they went ahead and they provided that report. And there's a lot of controversy around it, But the way that they handled it was actually pretty good. Pretty good in my personal opinion. They were very transparent, they were communicating. And I think the thing that mattered the most is that they were processing withdrawals and they were doing it like crazy. So the interesting thing about the withdrawals is, so they had 400,000 ETH stolen from them, which is approximately 1.4 billion. They were able to process 350,000 withdrawals in about a 10-hour period. And this was about 99.994% of all withdrawals. And they literally processed these throughout the whole entire thing, which was crazy. And after this was said and done, they and all the customer funds were withdrawn. Apparently it was 50% of funds withdrawn, and Bybit was able to sustain and completely do exactly what they said they were going to do. So that did restore a lot of faith in the community. However, you should always get your crypto off exchanges. So that was a net positive, is that they were able to show that, hey, we're solvent. But again, there's like rumors and people are saying, oh, this was planned, etc. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know anything about that. I don't necessarily think it was planned. People are saying that this is the same wallet address that North Korea, or excuse me, they're able to kind of link ties into the, it will spur regulation. This is an exchange that doesn't operate in America. They're not allowed to operate in America. So, I'm not going to talk about that too much. But the interesting thing about it is that apparently some of these addresses or actions were tied to the Femex hack of $624 million. Excuse me, I had to sneeze. God bless myself. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about kind of the aftermath of all this. I know it's kind of a lot. Also too, Binance and BitGet were sending 50,000 Ethereum to Bybit for loans. Also USDT, Tether was able to freeze approximately $181,000 worth. And apparently, allegedly, where was it? Analysts say that about 15 to 30% can potentially be recovered. And now there's this big debate about rolling ETH back, which we'll get into. So basically, CZ came on the set and was like, hey, we're going to support you, blah, 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 which is absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much, guys. But then he also did kind of criticize, and it wasn't a negative criticism. It was just kind of an idea like, hey, Ben from Bybit, why don't you guys just freeze withdrawals? Because, until we could figure this out. Ben decided against that. And I think that was probably the smartest move that Bybit made, because if they would have frozen withdrawals, it would have caused absolute insanity on the streets of crypto Twitter, insanity, because that's exactly what FTX and Voyager and I think Swan and Celsius and all the other exchanges did. So that's exactly the reason why they didn't. Also, you guys smashed the like. Come on, only 44 likes. Come on. So I appreciate that they went ahead and did that. Now let's go ahead and talk about the aftermath of this. What we can expect to happen. So, Bybit, they do have additional funds. They do have, stopping to withdraw would end Bybit. So Bybit, they've got VC money. They also have, they do a lot of launches, all kinds of stuff, plus the withdrawal, or excuse me, plus all of the fees that they charge to use the exchange, liquidations, et cetera. They're a profitable business. So they will be able to be okay, in my personal opinion. It was North Korea. But at the same time, this is going to cause a major strain. So now what people are saying is we should roll back the chain. Rolling back the chain happened, I believe, when it was still Ethereum Classic, and this caused a lot of controversy. And so what we're seeing right now is we're seeing Solana maxis and Bitcoin maxis saying you guys need to roll back the chain, and it's just all this big drama between the communities. So that's kind of the aftermath of some of that. However, Bybit is using reserves to actively buy Ethereum at approximately $2,700. And Ethereum has really kind of stayed at $2,700, I think, with the bottom being like $2,500, et cetera, which is pretty impressive considering the mass amount of FUD that we've had in the crypto with the Solana issue last week, and now with this. This is a really crazy bull market. I personally believe that we are in a super cycle, and we're kind of seeing something similar to what we saw in 2021 when we had that move up to all-time high at about 65,000, then we dumped to 30,000, and then we rebounded. However, Bitcoin is sustaining around $90,000, which is absolutely insane, absolutely insane. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the arguments. I'll try to get this wrapped up as soon as possible because there's a lot to cover. So with that being said, people are saying because Bybit is going to have to basically buy a 400,000 Ethereum to replenish their reserves, that this could increase a pump in Ethereum price. Also, too, we've heard from other different sources that there's a potential short squeeze that will happen in the future just because there's so many shorts that are building on Ethereum right now. So we don't necessarily know what's going to happen with Ethereum price. And I think that things do need to settle a bit before we do expect to see any volatility. But this whole entire thing is just very, very unfortunate that it happened. It's like, did this, was this like just the security aspect? So moral of the story is, if you have funds on a crypto exchange, you need to consider getting them off. It doesn't matter what exchange it is. You need to learn how to use cold storage. Also, too, in addition to that, this is kind of shows a lot of the tribalism that's happening in crypto between like the Bitcoin maxis, essentially calling for a rollback in the chain, and then the folks on Solana calling for a rollback in chain indicate like, and I think the two founders are fighting about it, which is absolutely ridiculous. Like it's just dumb. So moral of the story is there's a lot of fighting in the industry right now. Whether it be between Bitcoin maxis, Solana maxis, et cetera. But at the same time, if you think about it, Bitcoin was created first. Bitcoin was created first. And then in addition to that, hold on one second. There we go. Okay. So in addition to that, Bitcoin was created for the people, by the people. Solana was created, Ethereum was created. My nose a little bit right now. Bitcoin was created for the people, by the people. Ethereum was inspired by Bitcoin. And then Solana was inspired by Ethereum. So all this tribalism doesn't really need to exist, but it does, and it's unfortunate. However, one thing I want to leave you with before I get going is, yes, this was the biggest hack in the absolute world, whether it was crypto or not, the biggest hack in the world. Secure, get your OPSEC situated, etc. We don't know what's going to happen long term as far with Ethereum, just because there's so much insanity happening. And I do also want to remind you guys that Bybit is offering one of the biggest bounties in the world to get these funds. So basically, they also came out and they said that they're offering a 10% bounty to help recover funds. Analysts think that about 15 to 30% can be recovered. So I think it's about $140 million that they're offering for any recovered funds. And it was also said that METH recovered about 151,000, or excuse me, 15,000 Ethereum, which is good. So they do have a bounty open for anybody that's able to provide services and help them get some of that crypto back, etc. And Kay says it's amazing we're still above 90,000 after this hack. And it's still amazing that Ethereum is above 2,500 after this hack. Absolutely, it was amazing. Now, some bullish news I want to leave you guys with, okay? Franklin Templeton approved for a Bitcoin spot, or excuse me, a Solana spot ETF. The SEC officially ended their investigation against very popular platform OpenSea, which is good because they've been trying to say that meme coins and NFTs are essentially collectibles and not securities. And Coinbase also met with the SEC, which we talked about in the beginning, and the SEC has to decide on them, but the Coinbase case may be dropped, which is very important for every single asset in crypto. And shout out to Ripple for helping to kind of prompt that with their case. And then also Hester Peirce, who is leading the crypto task force, she came out with this long statement, basically asking for the public to comment on some of the changes they want to make regarding if crypto is a security or not. So we'll cover that more on Monday, but I just wanted to give you guys an update as to what happened. Be really careful this weekend. Also, too, any of the meme coins you see launching, there's rumors that Kanye West is launching a meme coin. You're probably going to get rugged if you participate in it. Like, if you're trading meme coins right now, just understand the way that the market's working right now, it's not a really good place to be. So if you participate in meme coins and you get rugged, there's that. But anyways, sending everybody love and light. I'm still holding my Ethereum, and remember to get your coins off exchanges. Bye-bye.